Welcome back, Local Decision 2023 here on North Metro TV. Don't forget to vote if you're in Blaine on April 11th because there is a special election for City Council Ward 2. A number of candidates out there vying for that spot. One of them is Heidi Green. She joins us now in studio. Heidi, thanks so much for stopping by. And let's open by having you tell our viewers who you are and what you stand for.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So you've already said my name is Heidi. Born and raised in a small farming community in western Wisconsin, just over the border. Graduated from St. Olaf College with a degree in economics and finance. I've lived throughout the Midwest, and 20 years ago, my husband Doug and I purchased a home in Blaine, and we've been here ever since. We have one daughter, Ella, and 4 pets.
Animal house.
Kind of like that, yes.
Very good. What can you bring to this role? Why should the voters out there say, let's go with Heidi Green?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, we've lived here for 20 years. And of those 20 years, we have been business owners in Blaine for nearly 15, homeowners in the same house and in the same neighborhood. I feel like I've been planning and campaigning for the last 20 years, quite frankly. So while I would be new to city government, I'm not new to doing business in the city. And now was a very good time, I felt, to throw my hat into the ring. Why? I'm really motivated by what I see coming out of council. I love the direction that I've seen them take over the last 4 or 5 years, even 6 years. You know, there was a big turnover with council from Mayor Sanders, kind of all the way across the council. And they've got some great momentum, and they're starting to, you know, there's a theme now for Blaine and the direction that we want to take Blaine. And there's a really single focus right now on Highway 65 and securing that funding. And for all 20 years that I've lived in my neighborhood, I'm always out with my neighbors, walking the dogs and, you know, taking kids to sports events, coaching sporting events and sports teams. And I do talk, I talk a lot. I tell a lot of stories. I listen to a lot of stories, but it never fails. There's always a neighbor that's like, Heidi, why don't you run for city council? And I used to say no, like I don't have time. And I wasn't motivated. And now I have 2 things. I am motivated and I do have time. Our daughter is doing well and kind of on her own in college, and therefore, I have a little more latitude in my schedule to do more than just discuss the issues and try to make my immediate community better. So the time is right. I think I can bring something to the council and help them continue moving in this direction. So
it's the perfect storm for you in your personal life to get out there into the public life and
correct.
Try to enter politics. I know on your bio it says community, not politics. Do you want to define that?
Yeah, absolutely. The beauty of city council in my mind is it's nonpartisan. I mean, I think today so much, there's just so much vitriol in politics, right? Once you get out of civic politics. And that's what was appealing to me about city council is it is nonpartisan. There's just work to be done. I'll get the opportunity, if elected, even if not elected, quite frankly. I talked to Matt Norris on one side of the aisle, and I talked to Nolan West on the other side of the aisle to say, give us the money. Look, I write a check, I pay my taxes, bring it back to Blaine, and let's get Highway 65 done. But I don't have to pick a side. We just need their help. That's really what it's about at the city level. Furthermore, at the city level, I can walk all over my whole neighborhood, and I have. And I talk to people, and I get to solicit their ideas, right? Not every idea is a good idea, But that's what I mean by community, not politics. This isn't political. You know, what do we need to get done? What is it you're looking for? You're looking for safer streets. Me too. What's political about that? Well, let's figure out what we have to do to make that happen. Does that help?
Yeah, absolutely. I know one of the wedge issues has been some apartment buildings in the city of Blaine, and there's a comprehensive plan, high density, medium density housing. Met Council says this needs to happen. Where do you fall on that? Because everybody needs a place to call home.
You bet. Where do I fall on that?
Yeah.
So I think my approach is very common sense, right? We can't be all single family, large lot homes in Blaine. There's just too many different types of people out there. When I'm down in the southern part of Ward 2 knocking on doors, that's an older part of Blaine. Many of the people that I talked to a couple of weeks ago in that neighborhood were telling me, nice to meet you, and we're going to sell our house in the spring. Right? So not that they didn't care, they were happy to talk to me, but you know what their concern was? Now where can I move in Blaine where I don't have to mow my lawn and I don't have to shovel snow? Well, that's not going to be another single family home.
Right.
Okay? That's going to be higher density living. Look at the Legends of Blaine at the corner of Lexington and 109th. That's a phenomenal 55 and up community. It meets a need, but it's high density. We have to have all the types of rooftops in Blaine, and we have to figure out where they can be, where we can situate them to meet the needs of the people that want to live in them. I mean, if you're a young single person, let's say you're a teacher at North Point Elementary, can you really afford the $500,000 single family home in North Blaine? You can't. But maybe you like the North Blaine neighborhood. Guess what? They're talking about medium density housing in North Blaine. Great. See, so we have to have apartment buildings, or like I said, that's what that 55 and up, the Legends of Blaine is. We need to have the single family homes, obviously. It met our needs.
Yeah.
And all of my neighbors' needs, and those are lovely. It's just finding the right mix. And I think when you look at the numbers, and I've talked to the planning department, Eric Torvey and Elizabeth Showalter, and I got the numbers to wrap my head around it, and believe me, it's daunting, right? The information there's crazy amounts of information, but if you look at all of the cities in the metro that are similar to Blaine, we're on the low end of high density housing, and we're on the higher end of single family homes. So we probably have some work to do.
Right.
And again, that's the work that I'm talking about that the council does. But we have to be willing to discuss it, even debate it. And they're not always comfortable conversations. At the end of the day, yeah, we have to have all the rooftops.
Yeah, and Blaine certainly is growing, in some ways explosive growth, and a lot of diversity now in Blaine. How can you ensure that anybody coming to this city is going to feel welcome?
Well, there's several different ways to answer that question. Immediately and personally, my husband has built a thriving dental practice in Blaine. I'm there every day. We take phone calls from the entire city of Blaine. I even use my Spanish to talk to some of them. So in a microcosm, I welcome them into the office every day, right? In the grand scheme, how do we do that? We do that by talking about all the different rooftops, right? We do that by considering an Asian grocery store, right? Or a tienda, or and incorporating that into things like the 105th area that we're going to redevelop here over the next, definitely within 5 years, right? Furthermore, Northtown. Those are the factors that we have to consider as the city is being solicited by developers, and even, on a business by business basis. We have to inquire, how are they going to be inclusive,
Right.
right? That has to be part of the decision-making process.
Obviously, you believe Blaine is a great place to live because you've been here now for decades.
Absolutely.
And the population is
You're
increasing.
making me feel old.
No, but you put down roots here. And I would say this, it also has a reputation as being a tourist hub because of the USA Cup, because of the 3M Open, and
Right.
all the events that come in here. So if you can get, Minnesota State Highway 65, upgraded fast, can Blaine even rise up more? I mean, can this be like the hidden gem of the Twin Cities Metro?
Yeah, and that's how I talk about it. And again, I'll go back to my original statement. That's why I'm excited for Blaine. That's why this is the perfect time to sit on the council and be a part of that. I truly believe we can be a premier sports destination. And we kind of already are. Yes, we need the infrastructure. We should have had that 20 years ago. We didn't. We're doing something about it now, right? Doing nothing would have gotten us in the way. And it's urgent. That's the message that all of us concerned citizens are giving to our, to the state level and to the county level is hurry up, let's get this done, make the decisions and write the checks, get it back here. So Highway 65 will help that. Blaine has a fantastic relationship with the National Sports Center, and there's nothing like sitting in a cafe in Alaska and having the server ask where you're from, and when you say Blaine, Minnesota, they say, I played soccer there.
Wow.
You can have that same conversation with people in Spain and Mexico and Costa Rica, right? So yes, it's undeniable. If we absolutely need to leverage that, whether it's the USA Cup, whether it's the PGA event that we host every summer, and why wouldn't we want to leverage it?
Yeah.
Because it's not always easy for those of us neighbors, right, to these events. We avoid Target for probably 2 or 3 weeks in the summer. You can't even, why? I mean, all the Gatorade's gone, right? But, so why not leverage it? Why don't we want to embrace that and use it so as we redevelop 105th, that's the theme. I mean, when you look at the parks and the trails that we have in Blaine, clearly the people that live in Blaine value that and that active lifestyle and being outside. Yeah, absolutely. There's no question that in 5 years, Blaine will look different and people will talk about it differently.
Yeah, and these events do put Blaine on the global map. You're exactly right. So I think if you can get a better Highway 65, then first impressions might bring people back, right?
Likewise, I mean, I would say to Anoka County, we need a better Radisson Road. That too, let's pretty that up. Let's take some pride in Radisson Road. Every single pro golfer that goes to the Twin Cities TPC, right, drives down that road. Let's make it prettier. Let's pretty up those boulevards. What do we got to do to get that done? And then all of us that live in Blaine are going to take that much more pride in those things.
Yep. All right, before we let you go, one last chance to tell the viewers why you are the candidate they should vote for in Ward 2.
All right. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. I appreciate your time. Thanks for having me. We started out today by talking about the fact that I would be very new to city government. That is something that I haven't done. However, I love to learn, and I'm a quick study. Having said that, I'm not new to business leadership, and I'm not new to community engagement. So Anybody who knows me knows that I put people first in almost everything that I do. I'm an advocate. If people come to me in the workplace, and they do every day, with an issue or a problem, I'll usually say to them, well, how do you want to fix it? Mm-hmm. And then, good, you've got an idea, how can I help, right? I'm going to bring that same advocacy to my neighbors and the community if I'm elected. My leadership style is this: the best idea wins, all right? So bring me your ideas. Be ready to debate those and discuss those with me. And at the end of the day, the best idea wins. And Eric, I'm going to leave you with this. In my heart of hearts, I truly believe Blaine is an excellent place to live, to work, to raise a family, to play in. I'm going to bring all of my passion and all of my energy, my hard work and I'm going to commit myself, if I'm elected, to making Blaine an even better place to live.
All right, well, I know the countdown is on until Election Day. You'll be out shaking hands and pounding the pavement. So good luck to you, and we'll talk down the road.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
Very good. She's Heidi Green, running for City Council Ward 2 special election in Blaine coming up on April 11th. This is Local Decision 2023.